built some schedules, so
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Usually these things, especially if it's going to involve a lot of people, it needs to be scheduled out like 2, 3 weeks in the minimum.
yeah. Well, I told him, I said, that you guys would stay overnight. That would be fine. And then, it could be just, a small group one night and, the
Yeah.
next day be a bigger group or whatever.
Yeah, well, what I always found like back 2022 going into 2023, it was really advantageous to go on a on a Friday night, do the presentation and then stay the Saturday for questions.
Hmm.
But if not,
Yeah.
3 to 4 hours is usually good enough.
Hmm. Well, and I'm there too, right? So then I can kind of try and help and follow through. And yeah, because Doug really wants to get everything he has out of the Canadian
Yeah.
realm. So,
Yeah, and he's in a good position to do it. He's got a company already.
hmm, well, the thing
Yeah.
is if he does it and he's successful, he's the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's probably well, in their church they have probably close to 130 to 50 come every, Sunday or whatever.
Yep.
But then it kind of rotates or whatever. But they're a planted church as well, so it's not only them; it's other, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So they get other people from other churches in there to either speak or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so and he's one of the influencers. So yeah, so that would be good.
There we go. Camera's working now.
You're looking a little orange though. Is it the light? Maybe. Okay. Did you get my message?
Yeah,
Okay. It's just I have some questions.
yeah, that's fine. Let's talk after market analysis.
I don't have very good internet to be able to share. So tomorrow after market analysis would be good if that works for you.
Yeah, let's see what the day holds.
Okay.
Oh, weekend. Dum, da-da-dum. All right. Here we have silver. Still on sale. Sitting at 57.60 at the moment. On the bottom underside of this wedge, in fact, over the last week, I'd say that wedge has been adjusted simply because of the angle of that pattern.
So Paul, how much would that be for what do you call it, a roll or a
A tube.
sure.
A tube, 57. Go. A tube is 20, Audreyland? Or 25?
It depends. I have both.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends.
They've
I think it's
offered both to me.
typically, I think it's 20 when you get a monster box. Anyways, they come in stacks of 20. That is 1,140 US.
Okay.
Gold also looking like that last pivot point is going to be the gravity. Gold silver ratio still hanging out up high around 69. US 30 still climbing right along that long-term trend line that we've seen since the end of March. Oil prices just now crawling out above this short-term, this inner trend line. It's really only just adjusted it because we've got a larger trend line outside of that. But definitely at a point of resistance. United States, Japanese yen bouncing up against all-time highs now in a rising wedge pattern. There's also an outer trend line here as well. That's occurring here. Essentially, I'll just take that out. There we go. The Nikkei consolidating, narrowing with this has been a long time. So that trend line is definitely narrowing it to a pennant. Slowly but surely. Amazon sitting here at this just underneath the most previous resistance. Below the all-time high, just how much more has it got? Only 10% more to go, and it's at the all-time highs again. Google, similar price pattern, 13% to the all-time high. Nvidia, also 12% going up. Oracle hanging out quite a ways down. It's actually well, if we go from the top to where we are right now, it's lost 60% of its value since its all-time high. Well, that was 300 days ago. September 2025. Palantir with the little fake out here and then another dropping down below that pivot point, finding gravity around the top side of that zone. We call that an accumulation zone. Tesla still, if it follows this pattern, it'll be quite a while. Like this is March 2027. The end here, March 2027. So it might take a while, but and I'm thinking that given the distance, right, like it has to go up 26% to get to the all-time high. So I think what we're going to see is a slow increase climbing its way up. The other thing is we could see a crash. If it's going to crash, though, I think it's going to do sooner. This rising wedge will lend to a breakout going up. Into the cryptos. We've got Bitcoin sitting at 15 ounces of gold right now, 15 and a half ounces of gold. From the all-time high of 40, Bitcoin has gone down 40% against gold. It's interesting to see how the financial industry is talking about cryptos right now. Who was it that we were listening to last week, Audrey Lynn? There was somebody saying that, oh yeah, we don't have to worry about gold and silver anymore. We can just back all the cash on data. Can't remember who was it that said that. But oh yeah, just go get all in on Bitcoin, I think, or something like that. We can just go all in Bitcoin. We don't have to worry about gold. Oh yeah, that was the director of MicroStrategy. That's right. And guess what they sell? Their number one product. ETFs. Bitcoin dominance, hanging out at 58% at the moment. Price action, still getting a lot of resistance from that long-term trend line. October 5th. We do officially have a full ABC. We've got an ABCD pattern already in reversal. Ethereum prices trying to look positive around the 1750, 1770 mark. It's been having a difficult time getting above 1900 since it dropped below the beginning of June. Market capitalization on the altcoins not moving, even though we've been seeing a greater trend downwards in Bitcoin. Holding on as tight as it can. ADA, now it's 15.8 cents. Midnight, I'm going to be joining up with on the Midnight City. They have a weekly call on Fridays. I'm going to be joining that one this Friday. It's at 8:30 on Discord. Because the Midnight token is, it's 11:11. The Midnight token is ending up, this privacy layer over the data is allowing people to create content with LLMs that stays behind that smart contract. So they are actually giving orders and creating, they're creating their commands to their LLMs behind Midnight. That's how private things are getting over there. So I'm looking forward to joining their Friday morning call. XRP still trending downwards at that steady rate. BitTensor maintaining its position above that zone where NVIDIA came on board. That's a major support area. Fetch bouncing down on these lows around 15 cents. It's not all-time low. Polygon in the realm of gaming. It's dipped down a couple of times, but managed to stay above this 6-7 cent mark. Very deep going down to about 6 point, what is this? 6 point low. Where's the low? 6.8. That can't be right. There we go. The low, 6.749. That low, yeah, that low is very, very deep, but it has already gone up since in the last 12 days. It's gone up 19%. Now in cryptos, that's not that much, but it is also indicative of a trend, because when we look at the other coins, Midnight, ADA, Ethereum, Ethereum's actually maintained itself in the last 2 weeks. Bitcoin dropping. Polygon steadily rising that whole time. So there's a little bit what we call a divergence in the trends. What does it mean? Nothing yet. Desync consolidating still under the half-cent mark. We've got Clearpool in just under 2 cents. And that's been consolidating for a long time. Well, yeah, on the 4-hour chart since June. But essentially, it's been bouncing off of these levels since February. Superverse, also very low. NPC climbing out above. SPX maintaining its pattern in that 4-hour chart. I want to talk about these two. Meme coins are going to be leading the way in this next wave of the onboarding, I call it. And that's what it is. It's an onboarding. Trump's water coin. I haven't even checked out to see how that's performed. Let's go check it out. Here is the USWR. On the hourly chart. Come on, let's reload. There we go. Oh, did it just end? It just dropped. It didn't do anything after the July 5th. It was a one-day thing on this chart. What? Isn't that funny? On July 5th, it dropped, and I saw that drop. I talked about it at the Authentic Media Association meeting, how it dropped. But that was the day that it dropped. This is the 5-minute chart. So it lasted 11 hours and 50 minutes. So that is what? Another rug pull, I guess? Just a flash in the pan. Security scan. Caution. Now that's on the USWR. That can't be the real one. Did they actually do that? USWR. Let's go look at other. Okay, yeah. No, there is a USWR that has a high volume. Here, this must be the real one. Look at that, eh? Nope. I am quite certain this is not it. Market capitalization says 2.3 million. Definitely not at all the same coin. USWR. I can't even find it. That's how bad it is. No, there's nothing here. So there goes Trump's wonderful idea. Where on earth did it go? Isn't that hilarious? He gets this whole website out. He promotes it on his social media. It's called the United States Water Reserve. Wow. And it's pretty much gone already. Not even registering. So, where was I going with that? Meme coins. The actual ones have communities around them. The actual ones believe in something that actually wants to make where they want to make a difference. And that culture, that subculture to this whole crypto sphere is going to be leading the way through this next phase. And simply because they're the ones catching all of the new users. Why? Because there's something for them to do. And what are they doing? Well, believe it or not, NPC, they're just sharing memes. That's all they're doing, just sharing memes about the non-playable characteristics that humanity displays. SPX, they just share images of they take a token image and they just put it on top of like Japanese anime art, and they tell everybody that we can basically take over the stock market because there's enough money going into cryptos, we can just take over the stock market. Because of their focus on building community, because of their focus on integrating with each other, that collaborativeness is what's attracting the next generation of crypto users, AI users, computer users, developers, business people. I met someone that was a linguist and a mathematician, and he's building an algorithm to minify the language that machines use so that they don't have to use such verbose language in order to collaborate. His math is already showing an 80 to 95% reduction in token usage because he's a mathematician and a linguistic, and he figured out that he could get machines to talk to each other with less characters. They can be more concise with their language. It's amazing. All of these things are converging. Oh yeah, and that guy I was telling you about, he's right into SPX. It's incredible. And that's why those meme coins, the ones that actually have something going on, where they're believing in something so wholeheartedly that they are willing to put their life force energy into a treasury. That's what the coin is. It's just a bunch of coins. Imagine a great big treasury, kind of like, what's his name? McDuck there. Not Scrooge, but, I can't remember his name. But he's the rich duck. And he dives off a diving board into his vault, and it's just gold splashing everywhere. Yeah. That's how you can think of these cryptocurrencies. And the blockchain is the vault, so to speak. And you pour your life force energy in there, and it's just a bunch of coins. And the more money you put into it, the more it's worth. And when you put your money into something like this, you believe in something so wholeheartedly that you're able to attract the attention of others, you gain more wealth because there's more attention. There's more wealth in it. The water strategic reserve, that was a disaster. Obviously. All right, that's market analysis. Oh, those are the charts anyways. I've been so busy with AI stuff, I haven't been paying attention to this other stuff. Oh yeah, and Dario hasn't put anything else out on his blog. He's had a couple of podcasts, but they're just getting so, it's like he's got his own biases now. And what he's saying is being kicked down the road or not happening at all. We don't know. It's a wait and see thing again. Any questions? Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you guys a neat little tool. I just found out about this. So, as you're working with models, eventually there will be the opportunity to have it do other button pushing for you. An example would be like a Google document, right? Now, when you're working within an inference like ChatGPT, you can already connect those kinds of things to Google accounts. But when you're hosting your own, those connections don't come natively. You got to build them. Well, with Composio, they have built a self-hosted solution, and you can just install it on your computer for free. And it will go ahead and give it it'll give you the capacity to go and sign in to your various accounts. So if you want your local model to do something like a Google document, you just sign in with your Google digital identifier, and then Composio will let your local agent go edit Google Documents for you. That's one example. What else do they got though? Because this is the thing, it's like, it's big. There's not like, just Google Documents. There's people who are connecting it to their Slack channels, their Figma accounts. Figma is a web developer's account. You can go to Figma and you can basically draft or wireframe entire websites. Well, or you could get an LLM to do it. All kinds of apps. You can even conduct triage on Gmail accounts if you want. You can have it manage your Twitter. You know how Twitter is just another platform where you got to go and push buttons? Well, you can have Twitter be auto-posted if you want. You can also do it with Facebook too. You can connect Composio to your Facebook groups, and you can scan for opportunities to provide value. There's people who are connecting it to their whole Google Drive. You know how we've talked about having folders and building structure with our folders on our local device? Well, you can get your agent to also manage your Google Drive. Asana. Asana is an app that is very commonly used in project management. Well, now imagine you don't have to go and sign into your Asana to figure out what needs to be done next. Your agent just lets you know in the morning when you wake up. Hey, this is what we got on the plate today. Everyday users, people who've got calendars, they want to connect the calendar and maybe optimize the things that they're needing to do. I know that there are a bunch of next-gen merchants, and we've got a list a mile long of things we need to get done, and it's sometimes difficult to know how to prioritize what needs to get done. Well, if you have specific goals that you want to accomplish, the machine can help you schedule your time. I know it's going to be better at it than me because I won't know what's going to be the most beneficial thing for me to work on over the next week to get maximum results. We're not supposed to be using all these apps, but they exist and they have their own unique solutions. And the good news is all of the buttons we need to press to get those solutions done, to use these tools, they can be completed by Hermes. And that's what I'm right now over in Hermes. I've got my screen up there. Yep. Was it this one? Yep. Composio is now in the settings alongside the Open Brain. So now I'm going to be synchronizing my calendar using Composio, and Hermes is creating this construct for me to play this game out. What's the most important thing that needs to be done? I've got revenue goals, I've got sales goals, and Hermes is allowing me to see that pathway to getting it complete. My responsibility is to stay on point. Make sure that I'm just staying in accordance to that schedule. So yeah, I wanted to share that tool. Any questions? Welcome back.
Yeah, I know. Where, like, do you have somewhere where you have the points on how to get Hermes and all of that set up?
Yeah, there are two ways that you can go about Hermes. Audrey Lynn uses Atomic Hermes, which is an app. I'm using Hermes in the command line interface, so the boring black screen where you put in commands. I'm running Hermes through that inference. But Hermes, you can get Atomic Hermes, which is an app, and that should run. I don't know. I would imagine it would run on your computer. It may need to. Yeah, I don't know. Let's go see what the requirements are.
I thought I downloaded Atomic Hermes, but I'm not sure how to use it.
Oh yeah, in Atomic Hermes you need API. So therefore, there you are getting a package with one of the models that gives you API, and then you're taking that model and you're plugging it in. You're plugging it into the Atomic Hermes.
Okay, so that's like you talking Greek to me right now.
Yep, that's okay. You're not there yet. That's okay. You're still working with the inferences in the browser because they're free.
Yeah.
What I would start doing though is start leveraging GLM over at Z.ai.
Right.
As much as possible, work over there for two reasons. Number one, they give you lots of compute. But number two, you're going to be using a model that you can run on your computer later. So now you can start to build what you're building with a model that you're going to be able to build later with. Because I think it's going to be important that we migrate away from ChatGPT over the next year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good question.
Yeah,
Here's
I
the
wanted to sooner than later anyway.
Yeah. Here's the website, atomicbot.ai. One of the things so remember, data is the commodity of the future. It's already here. The number one traded commodity on the planet. So with Next Gen Merchants, we've talked about the affiliate program. That is going to allow all of us to get virtually limitless compute. Because data is that commodity. When money comes into the treasury for Next Gen Merchants, we're going to be allocating a certain amount of that for compute, because that's going to be something that that the treasury can sell out there to outsiders, right? So now we can start building, as an example, within Next Gen Merchants, we like to teach lawful non-compliance. Imagine if you had a model that would assist you in writing the terms and conditions to your contracts to support your business's privacy. There's not a model doing that. Next Gen Merchants can provide that model because we're building it right now. So having a model that can run compute in alignment with people's goals. There's people paying $200 a month in compute just to run their productivity apps. They're not even business owners. They just don't want to touch the computer anymore. So they spend $200 a month, imagine that, on a machine to push the buttons for them. Just their operating system. They again, like I say, they're not running a business on AI. They're just running their calendar and their email and all that stuff. So the compute is worth it, especially when you can find a way to configure the compute for a specific goal, for a specific result. So that's what I see happening in Next Gen Merchants as we grow, is that now we'll just have the revenue go towards compute so members can get started. Anything else? Cool, cool. Well, I will continue. This week, we're busy getting ready for market next week.
That's the one in Calgary there?
Yeah. On the 20th?
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome, awesome. Well, have a good rest of the day.
You too.